Look, today I'm going to make an eggplant in tempura, okay? And I have it here because I have an eggplant and I'm going to take advantage of it, of course. So I have flour here, I have water, I have paprika, which is what we're going to need, and a little bit of salt, okay? Now I'll give the measurements. Look, I'm already cutting here to advance work. Cut it like this into the eggplant, okay? It's not very fat there because otherwise they get a lot of oil. We don't want that. That has to be that way, huh? There it is, perfect. We are going to continue cutting and we already have them. Now we are going to put them. I have them. I am going to put them on this tray and I am going to put a little salt on them so that they can release their... your water is fine. We can leave it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not going to leave it for 15 or 20 minutes, but come on. If you leave it for 30, it's even better. Swim for a little while with the salt and it's perfect. I'm going to put it on top now and I leave it here on the side. There is no need to put them in the refrigerator or anything. Okay, we leave it on the side while we prepare the dough for the batter. Come on, okay? Oh yeah, well it's been a while here, huh? As I said, I left it for about 20 minutes and I'm going to dry it here on the towel. Cook, as I say, and we're going to dry it without having to rinse it or anything. It already has its salt and no, they haven't released much water. The tray is quite clean, that is. But hey, it has loosened a little. We are going to dry it and I will put it on while now I am going to prepare the little mess that will dry here. Look, I have a bowl here with ice and I have put a little water in it. It's good to keep it cold because the pasta has to be very cold. It's tempura. Look, I have corn flour here. That is cornmeal and 50% wheat flour are both good for an eggplant. I put about 165 grams between the two, okay? Which would be about 85 ghee or so, right? Well, of cornmeal and 85 of wheat flour and 200 gram and 200 ml of water. I'm gonna kick him out, okay? If you want to make more quantity, well, you only have to double the flours and water and that's it. The paprika is worth it to taste. I will add 3 teaspoons if I see later that you need more. But with this, it goes quite well, that's right. Perfect. I'm going to add water and of course we don't add salt anymore because eggplants already have their salt. Okay, let's beat it. Don't think of using the electric mixer to do it with the electric mixer because we shouldn't heat the dough, huh? The dough has to be very cold anyway to make tempura. There are many ways to make it and many kinds of tempura. I'm making one and it's very simple. What I do say now, I'm going to put it. I'm going to continue beating it on top of the bowl with the ice and cold water, but you can also make the dough first and put it in the freezer or refrigerator for a while. It works in the freezer until you go to make it before it freezes, of course, and it comes out fine. You can also put the ice very cold into the dough, but you run the risk obviously of the dough drowning, which is the safest thing. And the batter doesn't come out the same, okay? So I put it underneath and while I'm moving and while I'm making the eggplants, this continues to stay cold or K for me is the best option. Look, here I have prepared a pan of mine, of course, and I am recycling oil. Oil from a use that I have used and that had paprika from having fried something with paprika and then well, I've recycled it, I've cleaned the oil and look, it's very clean and very good and I'm going to take advantage of it since this has perfect paprika. I'm going to let it heat up. Let's start with the batter. Well, let's see. I put the wooden rod in and as soon as I see if it is already bubbling, with which the oil is already prepared to pour it. So that's the technique. So now we start batting and frying. Only that if you want, you can flour them first today and they also turn out very well, but I don't want to load them with a lot of flour, okay? So I'm going to make them like this, but you can make them however you want. Let's overflow them like this. There's no need to drain them a lot. just the way it goes. There's inside. Look, I'm going to put 3 slides in. Now you know that if you add a lot, the temperature of the oil will drop. So we are going to add 3, which are very good, because the longer, the more slice we add right now, the better it is here. I was going to add 2, but when I add 2, what happens is that in this case, they will fry a lot and they can burn me. Then I do 3. When I lower the oil a little, they are still fried for a little while and the batter remains harder. Okay, there it is. Look, I'm going to go around it until it's about to the point where I want them to be hard so that we don't take too much oil. It's perfect there, but turn it around and let it cool down. Well, at this point, this is already ready, so I'm going to give it another turn and I'm going to take them out now, Now they are the way I like them, just the way they have to be. I have touched them and they are very crunchy and they have remained very whole, very hard. That's the point, okay? Well, nothing. I'm going to continue frying. I'm going to clean the oil. I'm going to remove it here, as I say. The little box, that's what's left. There it is. And every time we take out the batch of eggplant, well, we clean it. If it is necessary so that the oil does not burn, come on, let's add another batch and until they are all fried perfectly. Well, nothing cooked. Look what other dish. Well, I got one out of an eggplant, Look, you'll see which pendant I'm going to hit with a fork since I don't have a nail. It's the same. You heard him, didn't you? Well, that's it. Well, and here the presentation plate, of course. How come I haven't put it? There's no need. That one is eaten alone like that because it has its paprika. They are marinated. But I have put a mayonnaise there with capers, a mayonnaise with lemon, and a little caper is perfect. I could also make a mayonnaise with soy sauce, okay? But it seems like that to me. Perfect. You'll see how crispy. Well, the cotton test has come, the fire test. Since I already have my, here, you have already seen my fork and my cutlery. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get a plate. I'm going to get one and I'm going to try it. You see how he fucks, don't you? Well, cook, look at this. This is super crunchy. You've heard it, right? Well, nothing. This is fantastic. I hope you liked today's recipe, that you leave me in the comments what appeared to you. And nothing. Here I'm going to eat. There is the little hand thief, the little lace that I love, which is kukuruku. And kukuruku that we see in the next video. Okay, come cook. See you later.